Kenya can be superpower within 4 years. Within 4 years, Kenya can be ahead of so many countries here in the world. They won. So it is us that we should now wake up.
Hello guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of our content, and we are going to have a new and unique content in this new video that we are going to do. And today we are going to explore more of the things that are happening mostly in our continent and obviously outside our country. So stay tuned, and today I have my guest here. So guess who he is. So I'm going to give him a chance to introduce himself and tell us whom he is.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Austin Byron, or you can call me Deep State. I'm a software engineer as well as a student, and I'm also Pan-African. Thank you.
Okay, so Austin, we have several issues to discuss here. I've seen a story online saying that in Africa we have a lot of resources, but it's like we don't know how to use them. It's like tuko nazo but hatujui, we don't know if it's a government which wamefungia macho ama ndio tu wanapeana wakiona. So can you take us through some of the riches that we have in our continent, but we are not utilizing them as we should? Yes, we should.
Thank you very much, John. According to the question, I've seen you are asking Africa.
Yeah, in Africa
as the backbone of the world economy.
Yes.
Okay. If Africa could be cropped out of the world map, then the world will end. Because Africa is producing, or Africa is supporting the world's economy by around 70%. I am very sure. Because here in Africa, let me start, for an economy to grow, economy must be supported by various resources. There are resources that we need to, but must be put in place for an economy to grow as expected. And even from high school, a resource is just as something that is being used to achieve something. So what are these resources? And I'm going to convince you that indeed Africa is the backbone of world's economy. To begin with, here in Africa we have natural resources. When I talk of natural resources, here I mean I will mention minerals. We have several minerals here in Africa. We have lakes, we have rivers, we have mountains, we have any natural resources that you have been seeing in Africa. They have been used directly or indirectly to drive the economy of the world. For example, just natural resources. We know that minerals have been siphoned out of Africa. Right now we have a war in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That war has been sponsored by the United States of America and France. And the main reason is to ensure that these guys, they don't get that brain capacity to know how to utilize these resources. Therefore, the foreign powers, they keep on mining these minerals as they take them to their back to their country. Yeah, like if we can just close the Democratic Republic of Congo, in that no foreign power can come to Africa to take these minerals, then we will not even have iPhones, we will not have Samsung, we will not have these sophisticated phones that we see on laptops, because the minerals they are using to manufacture all these things, they get from Africa. If you come to things like lake and water and rivers, we know that Lake Victoria is feeding Egypt. And the Egyptians, most people there who are investing in agriculture, they are the whites. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And by the way, Egypt produced a lot of ungagano. And in fact, imagine it's a desert. Yeah. These rivers are also used in generating power. Mm-hmm. We also have, apart from natural resources, we have human resource. For economy to grow, we need labor, and labor is required in different stages: skilled, semi-skilled, and non-skilled, skilled, semi-skilled, and non-skilled. All these are found in Africa. You have been hearing that there are so many people, graduates, that are traveling abroad to take their skills to go and grow those countries. If you go to United States of America, even NASA, hii organization yenye huwa ina deal na space, so many Nigerians are in NASA, Kenyans are in NASA. If you go to Google iko na Wakenya wengi sana wenye wanafanya kama programmers. If you go to Facebook, the same. So the world economy at some extent inajengwa na ile human resources inatoka Africa. If all Africans, just like the Trump said that Africans should be deported back to Africa, of which Mr. Trump hapo amenipendeza sana, we will have that labor. Because how can it be that like for example Kenya is producing doctors, but these doctors unasikia sababu sijui wengine sijui wanaenda kufanya wapi, sijui wengine wanaenda kufanya wapi. Mbona wasibaki hapa Afrika ndio pia wagrow Africa? Haya, just tukikuja tu hapa bado kwa human resource. Of lately unasikianga watu wanachukuliwa hapa Kenya wanaenda kufanya kama nini, wanaenda kufanya huko Saudi Arabia, sijui Malaysia, sijui wapi, because unapata hizo places zingine kuna kazi wengine hawezi fanya. So they must get labor from Africa. Yeah, now that human resource pia inasaidia the world to grow. Alafu there is another resource inaitwa fiscal resources, not physical. This is fiscal of FISCAL, fiscal resources. What is fiscal resources? Fiscal resources, these are monetary. These are monetary resources collected by the government. For example, taxes, taxation. Yeah. In Africa, we have all the monetary resources that are needed to build our continent. Wasituone like sisi hatuna pesa sana, we are not poor. So the reason why we cannot atuziona matunda ya hiyo pesa ni tuko nayo ni due to the rogue leaders that we elect. These leaders, they siphon money outside the economy of Africa and they take them to the outside world. For example, there's a country in Europe inaitwa Luxembourg. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Luxembourg has been growing by pesa ya watu wenye wameiba pesa hapa Afrika wanapeleka huko kuweka. Na ni kitu ya ajabu sana. In Germany they do the same. In United States they do the same. Money is being siphoned by rogue politicians from Africa to develop the outside world. That is very, very, very sad. If these monies, if you can find a way of controlling this money here in Africa and ensuring that no money is living outside Africa, then I can assure you that we'll have enough money to do what? To develop Africa. Yeah. Apart from fiscal resource, we also have another resource, and I don't know how to call it, but I want to call it demographic resource. Demographic resources, here I mean that the people, we have people. Because economy is all about production of goods and services, and ensuring that these goods and services are satisfying our needs. Now, if we have goods here in Africa, these goods they need to flow. We need people to buy them. Because you cannot have an economy where you are producing goods but nobody is there to consume them. You must have consumers and you must have producers. So the problem here is the demography you have in Africa, it is highly consists of consumers and not producers. And how is it demography in Africa building the outside world economy. Listen, there is something called bilateral trade, but some bilateral trade are crazy. They are very incredible. For example, China, with that big population, is entering into signing a bilateral contract with a country like Rwanda. It doesn't make sense. Then Rwanda is a very small country, China is a very big country, big economic country. They enter into bilateral contract and the rules are the same. Obviously, ni kama unaweka mtu mkubwa, mtu wa class 8 na mtu wa nursery wapigane. Na unasema sasa hapa the rules are the same. It's not fair. That is not even that's not equity and it's not even fair. Now, those countries like China, United States of America, Germany, those big economic countries, these countries, they produce their goods, and these goods, the first place wanaonanga penye wanauza hizi vitu is Africa. Africa is not trading with itself. It would have been better if Uganda produces tea and exchanges with Kenya. Tanzania exchanging with Rwanda. Rwanda trading with DRC trading with Liberia, so that our goods are flowing within the continent. We will make the economy of Africa very strong. But we are not taking advantage of this population, because this population is just consuming goods from the outside world. Now, this is now siphoning money to the outside world. What about our own goods? Where will we sell them? And you will find that those things that are manufactured from Africa or produced in Africa, if we want to sell them outside the world, there are some strict rules which are even unnecessary. But with them, they dump in. Like China, unajua hata hizi vitu fake wenye wakitengeneza huko. In fact, zingine hata jafazi kwa takataka. Because like phones, there are some phones that are used, they are waste from laboratories. To like pale high school mkifanya experiment, you do what? You dispose chemicals zenye mmetumia, si ndio? Sasa unazapata huko China watu wakiwa laboratory, watu wanafunzwa kutengeneza these electronics. Instead of dumping them, the dumping site inakuanga ni Africa. And they do what? We buy. We are now building the economy. So all these resources are the ones that make Africa, the outside world, to grow economically. And if you calculate very well, you will get that Africa is contributing the 70% of all these resources that I've talked about. Yes, thank you. Is there any question again?
Okay, I have a question to ask. Why is it that the governments in the continent of Africa, they just overlook those petty? Okay, let me not call it petty, but wanajua tu vizuri we have minerals, but wanakubali tu zinaenda outside the Africa instead of refining them and processing them within the Africa. What makes them to sell them outside the Africa? Ama nini kinawafumba macho? Labda ni viongozi huko kwingine ama nini?
Good question. You have just asked the reason why the leaders here, leaders of Africa, they know that these resources can benefit us more.
Yes.
But they still go ahead
giving them out
and give them out. Good question. You call them leaders, but I will call them misleaders. Yes, they are misleaders, because all these leaders you are seeing in Africa, they are puppets. The leaders you are seeing in the outside world, like the leader of China, the leader of Russia, Europe and America, they are very strategic. They know what they want. Wako na maslahi ya kudumu, and they go for what they want. In the jungle, we have lions and we have zebras. lions know what they want. They want. And their lions are very strong, sindio? They will use zebra because zebra is weak to achieve what they want. And what do they want? They want to quench their anger. I mean hunger. Wako na njaa, wanataka kufanya nini? Kumaliza njaa. So they will use a weak animal to accomplish their what? Their needs. So those guys, they know that we are very weak, especially mentally, very, very weak. And that's why they are now using us to get what they want. So it is us that we should now wake up. These leaders, they impose them. They impose leaders on us, so that these leaders, they do. They serve their interest. So they are not serving. That's why they can't do anything in those things. But throughout history, there have been leaders who know that we can benefit from our resources, and they tried their best. One of them is Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso. And when the white men saw that this guy is going to take Burkina Faso somewhere, they killed him. In fact, they used another African to kill him. There's been leaders like Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah had got a very big dream, but he was finished, and you know that. Right now, we have Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Within a short period of time, that guy has shown that it can be done. It can be done. Yeah. I don't know whether I've answered the question.
Yeah, you have answered the question. So, do you mean hapa Kenya hizi mafuta wanasemanga zinachimba huku Turkana sijui wapi, we can just refine them here in Kenya and use them, ama tunaziuza tu, we can make them here in Kenya other than just transporting them outside?
Yes, of course. Okay, let me shock you. Do you know that in Kwale we have a mineral called coltan? Coltan is used in manufacturing microchips. Microchips used in laptops, phones, and the rest. And in the whole world, this microchip, this coltan, the deposits are not that huge in other countries, but here in Kenya and DRC is very huge. Here in Kenya it is iko pale Kwale, and a research was done by the Chinese that the deposit of coltan in Kwale is very big, and that one alone can make us even fund the economy of the whole United States of America. Now Kenya is very rich. If you know how to use your resources very well, you are going to be rich, because God has had a reason of putting that resource there. Kwa nini nadhani Mungu hakuchukua hiyo coltan na weke huko USA ama weke nini wapi France, aliweka hapa hivi, but you don't want to do what? To use them. If you have mangoes in your home, you should make sure you take care of this mango. You harvest them, unatengeneza juice na unauza, kuliko kuuza maembe moja 5 bob. Unajua ukiuza juice sasa itakuletea pesa mingi zaidi. Lakini sasa nyinyi tunachukua maembe kwanza, hata tunapeana na 1 bob each, inaenda huko nje, na hii 1 bob hadi kisha kuja viongozi ndio wanafanya nini? Wanakula. Na wale wanaenda kutengeneza juice, na hiyo juice wanakuja kuuzia pesa mingi. Yeah, so if we can just be strategic in mining alone can take Kenya somewhere. Kenya can be superpower. I'm going to stress on that. Kenya can be the superpower. If we just have a good leader, Kenya can be superpower. Within 4 years, Kenya can be ahead of so many countries here in the world.
Thank you so much. So guys, we have just heard all that we need is just an awakening of our minds, and we just get back to our roots. They said we get back to our roots. So guys, up to this point, unless you have something to add on top of that, I want us to just
Now the parting shot is this. Guys, we have a country that we were given by God. We have a continent that we were given, that was given to us by God. We need to protect this continent, and for us to protect this continent, we need first to free our mind. We must have to unpress the button that was pressed by the slave master, because the slave master never left us. They are still here in different forms. Another thing, the problem of the misleaders that we are complaining of, the only solution is, ukiwa Mkamba usilete Ukamba yako kwa kura. Ukiwa Mjaluo usilete Ujaluo kwa kuchagua viongozi. Ukiwa Mkalenjin usilete Ukalenjin. It is good to be that Luo. It is good to be that Kalenjin, because God is the one who made you to be that Kikuyu, that Gusi, that Ikuria, that Mkamba, that Meru. Yes, it's good to be of your tribe. But when it comes to the table of making things right, to make system work in our country, the tribe must die. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. All that I want to remind you is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because we're going to have so many contents that gonna be popping up each and every time. We are going to have more contents of our king and men's, because Africa, we have a long way to go, and to have all that way to go, we only have to awaken our mind and go back to our roots. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Once again, my name is John Musimi, and thanks for staying tuned. Goodbye.